What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today I'm back with another special guest. We have Timo, Mr. Germany. He's qualified for regionals. Just came off a 40-0 weekend. How are you feeling, my brother?
Hey Mike, thanks, I'm fine, and how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be able to put together another one of these videos. It's tricky, guys, to make sure that I can get pro players, and everybody's got different schedules. We got a lot of different time. If you have any questions for Timo, make sure to get in the comments. And if you enjoy the content, drop a thumbs up. I'm trying to make things happen. And I'm also going to link Timo's YouTube as well as his Twitter down below if you want to follow his journey. The man speaks English well as German. Today we've got a lot of questions. I always like to start out with your squad. And I'm going to show two different teams from Timo because he's been using one squad for quite some time, but I've seen the upgraded team, what's happening for the next weekend. So let's start out with what you've been using, where you have the Ronaldo, the Griezmann, the Gareth Bale, and then Vidal, Modric, Pogba. What do you like about this squad? Are you changing formations? Do you swap formations based on your opponent? Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, I made the team like at the start of FIFA because I did spend a lot of money for FIFA points, so I just wanted to make sure to have the best team possible, and yeah, that's what I was thinking of because I like the way the players link together in the 4-3-2-1, like the left striker and the right striker with the central midfielder, and then the Bayern side and the Man U side. So I love the way it looks, so I just want to build it, and it was actually the second weekend league I think I played with this team, and I just loved it. So Ronaldo was perfect for me. Griezmann was the one I loved the most. His left foot is just so amazing, really, to be honest. I think he's better than Ronaldo in finishing wise, so I just kept playing with him and playing with the squad. I think I have like 300 games with this team. I played every weekend league, so the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, and so on. And I think the best thing about this team is that you can change formation in game if you don't feel confident in the game. So if your opponent is battering you, you can just switch to 4-1-2-1-2 without switching players around. So you can put Ronaldo and Griezmann or Bale on striker position, Bale or Griezmann, whoever you want on cam. Pogba, Vidal and Modric are perfect midfielders for the 4-1-2-1-2, and you just stick to the backline. So you have a lot of different options with the squad, and that's what I like the most.
Let me ask you this, because you're using Valencia. I know that you're changing, and I'm going to show you guys his second squad here in a minute, or his new team that hopefully leads to another 40-0. But yeah. Why do you use Valencia? Because I've seen some players choose to have him in the squad, other people not so much. What was the deciding factor for you?
Valencia?
As your right back.
Yeah, because of chemistry. Pogba needs two like perfect links in this team, so he gets one from Smalling and the other one from Valencia, because I could have used Sanya and put De Gea in goal, but I think Valencia was actually decent. I know Walker's much better because he's much faster, but Valencia is quite tall, to be honest, so he wins you a lot of headers, and yeah, he was actually fine. You have to get used to him because he's kind of a different player. He has a perfect body which you can use in tacklings. He has good slide tacklings, and he can catch up with the other players if you keep pressing circle to get to the opponent's t-shirt, let me say. And yeah, I think he has pretty good aggressive stats, so yeah, that's quite decent.
I feel like Timo would pick up Valencia at the bar. He has the perfect body. I see what you're doing there.
Oh no.
But basically, you're sacrificing a little bit to make sure you get Pogba in the team. And Pogba's one of those players that most people don't remove. Once you get him into the squad, he's pretty much stuck in. You're going to keep him in that team. Just, he offers you a little bit of everything, whether it's defensively, offensively, the skill moves, the creativity, 6'3". But let me pull up your second squad real quick so you guys can see what Timo's changing. And I want to throw it out there, if you've never heard of Timo, he's signed by Wolfsburg. He's won the 2015 and 2016 as well, the ESL, is the Pro Series in Germany.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you guys may have seen ESWC this year. He was in the finale versus Dax, and a lot of people were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We got a new German. We got to talk about what's going on," because everybody's trying to get better in this year's installment, and you've kind of proven to be one of the top guys, which is crazy. To get to a final in any tournament is so difficult. I mean, you know that firsthand, but a lot of people don't realize how many different players there are at this top tier level. So to get your best you in a tournament at a LAN event is so difficult. But I'm throwing up the second squad. Why don't you tell us why you swapped what you swapped? Because you spent a lot more coins on this Ronaldo action. Obviously, he's on the PlayStation, guys. That's why you don't see any legends. I'll give it back to you, Timo. Talk to me. I see my man DeMarcos is in here.
Yeah, the Marcos is in there because of Ramos. So I really wanted to make a team with Team of the Year Ramos because he's always been my favorite defender. In FIFA 15 already, FIFA 16, he always had a Team of the Year center back with like 500 pace. So I always loved his card, and I love the way he puts his kid into his shorts. So he always looks so funny when he's running. So I wanted to have him on the team with Pogba and Ronaldo. So I just thought I would have to remove my Bayern side with Boateng, Alaba, and Neuer, but luckily I found a way to put everyone together in the squad. Ronaldo is on 7 chemistry, but to be honest, he plays better with 7 chemistry on striker than with 10 chemistry on left striker. So I hate to press start at the start of every game to move players around. So I prefer to just play him on 7 chemistry, and since I'm playing him there, he's just scoring goals every single game. I always play friendlies against pro players, and since I've been changing Ronaldo there, he's just doing damage every game, like hat-tricks and penalties and long shots and headers. So he's doing everything for me. Martial, I always hate to come up against him, so I just thought I'd give him a try with Kante and Pogba linking up to him. So yeah, that's what I'm rocking with right now, and I hope that I will have a successful weekend coming up now, because it's the first weekend I will play with the squad.
And me too. I want to see you do well. I know how competitive everything is with the FUT Champs. Doesn't matter what region you're in for the most part. It's a nasty situation. I'm always shocked when people go 40 and 40 or 38 plus wins every single weekend, because with servers and disconnects and just some of the issues that we've seen with FUT Champs, the custom formations. I mean, I know they've patched that now, which we're going to talk about shortly. But let me show your tactics, because your tactics actually are quite a bit different. A lot of people that I've interviewed and I've talked to, they almost run the default tactics. All they're changing is cover. However, offensively, your speed of play is much higher than most people, and a lot of people have very high shooting and low crossing. You're the other way around. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Defensively, you look almost identical to me, actually.
Yeah, I don't like to play the ball around my defense a lot. So if I get the ball, I like to counter attack my opponent. So I kind of sit deep, and if I get the ball, then through my pressure, then I like to counter attack. So I need like the speed in the build-up play, so the players run towards opponent's goal very fast and not just sit back and wait. So that's why I put this very high, and I put crossing a little bit more, so that my players stick to the line and just make some runs, so that I can pass to them outside and pass it back into the middle to have just some more options. Because if you pass it on the wing to Martial, for example, or Bale, your opponent doesn't really know if you're going to cross or just run into the box or pass it to the edge of the box. So you have a lot of options then, and yeah, that's why I choose that.
Do you feel that you get better with having the crossing higher up? Because some people that use this formation will understand this reference, but if you've never played the 4-3-2-1, that left forward and that right forward, neither of them are really wide. It doesn't play like a 4-3-3. So if you were thinking it was going to generate some sort of 4-3-3 in terms of width, forget about it. So I'm just asking you, do you feel that you get better width there before you have those options maybe to do whatever you want, or a little bit better spacing?
Yeah, I often switched my tactics around at the start of the game, but when I first started to finish my weekend leagues with 38, 39, 38, 37 wins, I just became like confident with this tactics and didn't change it anymore. So I don't think that these shooting and crossing stats changed too much, because I only think that the pressure and aggressivity are the ones that matter. But if you put the crossing a little bit higher, you can see that your players just try to stick to the line a bit more. But yeah, I'm fine with that. So it doesn't feel like a 4-3-3, to be honest. It still kind of feels like a 4-1-2-1-2, because you still have the 3 guys on top. And yeah, sometimes in games it feels like you have 3 strikers, 3 center strikers, because you have no one on the wing. But in other games you have players that run through the wing the whole time, so it's kind of inconsistent. I don't know if it depends on the custom tactics of the game. That's what I still have to figure out, I think.
Now, that's what I've been telling people. In my opinion, custom tactics, it's only about the defensive portion that really matters. Otherwise, it's your gameplay. If you play fast, cool. If you play slow, cool. But there is no custom tactic to make you play faster or make you play slow. They can improve kind of how your players move here and there. However, on the defensive end, if you have high pressure, low pressure, cover versus offside trap, very noticeable in every single match. And hopefully I worded this correctly, but that's what I was trying to say, is that the 4-3-2-1 is not like a 4-3-3, where you have the width and you're running the lines. It is closer to a 4-1-2-1-2, the second variation, or it's very similar to a 4-3-1-2. They're a little bit wider than that, but they're still bunched up. You're going to have those quick counters, and it's what used to be described as a YOLO formation. I'm not sure if you know the reference. You listen to Drake, but it used to be a formation in past FIFA installments where you're very hectic, you're rushing people, and it still is a rush formation, but I don't feel that it's as YOLO as it once was, where it was just chip through ball after chip through ball, high pressure, high pressure. But you guys get the idea. I know we just talked about the 4-3-2-1, but I wanted to ask, do you switch formations if you're ahead in a game, or if maybe you're finding that you're in a matchup issue? I know you mentioned briefly how easy it was to go into a 4-1-2-1-2, but I just want to hear your thoughts. How do you close out matches? Do you stay in what you're in right now? Do you just keep trying to push on for more goals? Talk to us a little bit.
I always start with 4-3-2-1, because as I said, I don't like to change everything at the beginning of the game. So mostly I play until like the 30 or 35th minute and just see how it goes. At halftime, if I'm 1-0 down and I feel like I don't have enough chances to score, so if I only have like one chance, which wasn't even good, and my opponent is just all over me, I mostly switch to 4-1-2-1-2, the second variation. But if I just feel confident and I'm leading like 1 or 2-0, then I just stick to the formation the whole game. Even if I'm 2-1 up in the 80th minute, I still stick to the formation. I only sub on my strikers, like I have Neymar and Griezmann on the bench now, and I always sub them on to just keep hold on the ball in my opponent's area, so he can't counter me, because if you have the ball you can't concede a goal, which is like a sentence you should have heard before. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, great offense is the best type of defense.
Exactly.
And I've told you guys before, but it's all about comfort. That's a big reason I haven't really changed my defense much since I've been playing in FUT Champs and generating content, even though they're all normal defenders, the Boateng, Alaba. I use Kyle Walker and Smalling, but I know what I'm going to get out of them every single match. I also have noticed, and I'm sure you guys at home have as well, that you have an 85 overall. Do you feel that rating in terms of your team matters? Because you see the bronze benching, people trying to keep the rating very low. Do you think that's a myth, or do you think that's involved in the game, or is there handicapping? What's your opinion?
To be honest, I was a little bit scared to buy Team of the Year Ronaldo and Team of the Year Ramos in the same squad because I feel like there is handicap. I did have full inform squads in previous FIFAs and I just wasn't able to play. And I did have the 96 Ronaldo this year as well, and I sold him after one game because I don't know, I just don't like informs. I just feel like if you spend so much money for a player, you just expect too much from him. So if I spend like 6 million for Ronaldo, I did spend 6 million. I know he's 4 million now, but I lost a little bit on that. If you spend that much on a player, you just expect every shot to go in, and that's just not the case in most of the time. So you have to get used to that. And yeah, still I feel like there is momentum. That's why I have a bronze bench as well. I only have 3 players on the bench, which are Renato Sanchez because he's just a beast, Griezmann and Neymar because I don't know, I don't have to say too much about Neymar and Griezmann. They're just beasts in front. They're so fast and so skillful. If you sub them on in the 80th minute, they can still decide a game. So I feel like you have to put a bronze bench because I know some players who have 87, 88 overall rated squad, and I think I couldn't play with that because, well, there are so many players saying that there is handicap. So I think it's just a thing in your head, you know. If you believe in handicap and you think that your players are too slow because of your rating, then it's just the case. So if you believe that your players are good enough, even though you have 88 or 89 overall rating, you will still think about that. So you know what I mean? Like, it's all in your head, the handicap thing. But I personally feel like there is one. So I prefer to have a bronze bench.
No, I absolutely understand. I actually think the threshold is an 84 overall team, and that could be what's in my head. But I try to keep my teams 83 and under, even if I've got the likes of the Ronaldos and the Bales. Instead of maybe having 2 subs, you go with 1 sub, or maybe you have 2 subs, but they're both lower rated instead of the Neymar and the Griezmann that you have. But for me, for whatever reason, and it's not all the time, but every once in a while I'll have a game where I'm like, why is Ronaldo not able to run? Why are all your first touches bad? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I would also co-sign staying away from informs if possible. If you're going to spend the money, I'm on the Xbox most of the time. Legends are good to go. High-rated players, good to go. And I've used quite a few of the Team of the Year cards. I recommend them as well. I really like Suarez. That's somebody I'd like to put into my team if he just wasn't so damn expensive. You're right, because you have this major expectation when you spend that much money. And with being on the Xbox, Legends are pretty much solidified. You know what you're going to get. And with that new patch, I wanted to kind of ask you, did you notice any changes? Do you think there's anything that's going to be a big adjustment to your gameplay? Obviously, FUT Champs is going to be a different experience because you're going to have some hidden information now. Because people cherry pick, whether you love it or you hate it. It is what it is. It's not possible for this many people to go 37, 38 wins every single weekend. How is that possible if they're playing each other? Clearly they're not. But I wanted to kind of open the floor up for you. Did you notice anything with the patch? Or is it all the same for you?
To be honest, I never really realized anything after a patch. So I think at the start of FIFA 17 there was this corner glitch where you pass it short and cross it to the far post and always head it in. So I did notice that they patched this. So just the big things, like I know some people who say that, oh, I can't pass anymore, the 1-2s don't work anymore, it's all because of the patch, my crosses are so bad now, it's all because of the patch. I don't think that's true because I feel like they don't patch too much. It's just in my head. And FIFA is it's all often decided in your head, so I don't think that patches change a lot. I just keep on playing like I played before and it mostly works out for me, so I'm fine with that.
No, I hear you, absolutely. Also with this brand new patch, I believe that it changed the defense, but it doesn't change the defense for people that actually manually defend and all the pros or top players. You do. those are not the types of people that are going to sit back passively and wait. I feel like the AI had been changed a little bit, but it doesn't really apply to somebody who manually defends. And I wanted to kind of transition into the regional, which is coming up very soon. We're almost into February now.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that type of LAN event? Because everybody's been practicing and trying to build the ultimate team basically for the LAN. You qualified season 1. I don't even want to talk about how many good players are in Europe. You already know. Are there certain guys you're hoping not to get matched up with? Are there nerves? Do you play a lot of offline before you go? What is the mindset? Because you just said that playing FIFA, it's all about your mental. So how do you get your mental to the best place it can be?
When I remember back to ESWC in October where I finished second, my kind of trick was to put up your headphones, put the volume on maximum and just play. I tried to focus to 200% in every game, and it kind of worked out for me. So I still remember in my semi-final I scored a beautiful 1-0, so just an amazing goal. And like 2 or 3 seconds after that, my opponent did the kickoff glitch, like pass it back and then kick it with R1 and X to the edge of my box, and then he just shot it, deflected, and my keeper just only kind of got it through his legs. So it was 1-1 at this time, and I felt like I would like to cry because I scored such a nice goal and he just scored such a shitter. But
there are no tears in tournaments, brother. There are no tears.
Yeah, I know. I just tried to keep focused, so I just laughed. I looked at my mates, at my Wolfsburg managers and the Stark managers, and I just laughed at them because I don't know. I just had fun to play, and I didn't really care about this shit goal at the moment. In this moment, so I just focused on my gameplay, and yeah, I won like 5-1 or 6-1 in the end. So for the next LAN event, I hope that I will have the same mindset as I had at ESWC, because I do have the problem that I sometimes in games start thinking about things I shouldn't really think about. So I remember when I was in London at Play Like a Legend event, I played against Vitality Brian and I scored a really lucky goal to make it 1-0, and I don't know, I just thought, oh my god, I was so lucky. That's bullshit. Maybe someone thinks I can only score lucky goals and things like that. They just sometimes don't go out of my head, and that's what kind of interrupts me while I'm playing. So I just can't keep playing good if I think about these random things, to be honest. And yeah, I just have to have a good mindset these days. And yeah, if I have, then I just hope to not play against my friends. So Benedict Salzer is coming. He qualified as well, so my Wolfsburg mate. Dr. Ahano is one of my best FIFA friends in Germany.
Y'all might see him on the live stream. He's a pretty popular streamer.
Yeah, he's the one I looked up to the most. Like, he was my mentor when I started, and yeah, so I just don't want to play against these because, playing against friends is always something special. And then in these kind of tournaments where you can win $20,000, you don't want to knock out some of your friends, or you don't want to get knocked out by your mates. So that would be pretty cool if I play people I don't really know, because sometimes if I play against friends, I don't want to score like lucky goals, or I don't want to make them sad, if that sounds good. I don't know. So I just prefer to play against players I don't know, so that I can just focus on me and just think about the win.
And what he was talking about with all the focus tips, or just trying to stay focused, I actually think this applies so much to going 40-0 or doing well in FUT Champs over the weekend. The reason that there are players that always go 35 plus wins or 30 plus wins, etc., is often because they're able to gather that focus for the entire 90 minutes in most of those matches. And that's so crucial to success, whether you're at a LAN event or if you're playing even online, especially with something that's leaderboard based, where you have to put up the best record possible. You really can't take a game off or take 2 games off and expect to qualify or to give yourself an opportunity to qualify. I also wanted to ask, do you feel like there's a big difference between PS4 versus Xbox players? Because a lot of tournaments used to be on the PS4, so there are so many different tournament pros, and you're also in Europe where the competition is clearly the best in terms of how many players, the amount of quality players. I think we have the most hoe bags, if that makes sense. That if you're in the U.S. or the North and South America region, I should say, I've never played against so many 5 at the back, custom formation, crazy looking formations in my life. It's the disrespect is so real, but I know that you guys have a better overall skill set in terms of just player to player basis, and that's probably because they're so much more involved in real football. I kind of feel like Americans sometimes play the game like it's a video game versus playing it like it's a simulation to a football match. So I just wanted to ask, do you feel like there's a difference between PS and Xbox, or do you never play Xbox? Do you have an opinion on it or not so much? You can say, Mike, and no, I don't want to talk about it.
Nah, I was just thinking about what I could say, because I do like playing on Xbox because of the legends. I did in FIFA 16 I bought myself a Hullet because on PS4 we don't have any legends, unfortunately, so I kind of sold my whole team on Xbox just to get Hullet, and I put like the worst players around him. So just I think a normal Bundesliga squad with Royce and Aubameyang, and yeah, just like the cheapest team possible, just to try him out. That's what makes Xbox cooler than PS4. But for me personally, I prefer to play on PS4 just because of the controller. It kind of feels better to my hand because the Xbox One is kind of too big, I think. And yeah, in LAN events I do alright with the Xbox controller because I just know that there's nothing I can do. I just have to play with it now and just try to get it in my head. But when I'm at home and I have the choice of playing on PS4 or on Xbox, then I prefer to play on PS4.
Alright, I got a big question for you here. Do you feel pressure to perform as a German and also being signed to Wolfsburg? I don't think a lot of people have probably asked you this, but if you guys are not aware, let me put this out there. Germany might be the most successful nation. It's right there. It's definitely a top-tier nation in terms of FIFA results. You guys have had the German twins, who basically they won every event for 3 or 4 years. It was unbelievable. Then you had SK Krohn, who won a couple big events. Then you had the Kai Wollen era, who I feel like he was kind of overlooked in a way. He won a lot of events. I'm talking about World Cyber Games. He performed well at FIFA Interactive World Cup. You name it, and I just never hear his name brought up that often, which to me is crazy. And now, Timo, you got to carry the torch. You got to be the next German to, put up and be like on the. We have the. I don't know if you watch basketball, but in basketball, if you're like one of the greatest players, they retire your jersey and they throw it up in the stadium, right?
Yeah.
You got to be the next one to like get your your jersey, or I guess in this case your kit, retired. Do you feel additional pressure though, on a serious note? Because a lot of people don't realize the expectation. Once you start winning events or performing well, and then if you're from one of the nations that is expected to kind of carry the torch, so if you're from the UK, if you're from Spain, if you're from Germany, if I left out anything please forgive me if there's anything left out. There's a lot of countries that have players that we expect results from. People expect Boris to perform well. People expect Augie to perform well. But then there's a few nationalities that, France is another one, where if they're in a tournament, you just expect somebody to be in the top 3 at that event. And Germany's one of those nations, kind of like in real football where they're very consistent and they almost always find themselves battling it out for the podium. So talk to me about it. Because I know people have to talk about you and have expectations. Like, all right, cool, we got Timo, he's representing us. We're going to do good in this event.
Yeah, as you said, I hope to be the next German guy who throws his kit or his jersey into the fan crowd. So that would be pretty cool. But I don't think that there is like extra pressure on me because I'm playing for Wolfsburg. I just think there's that extra kind of motivation because Wolfsburg had the chance to sign at least 50 or 60 other FIFA players here in Germany, because they could have chosen anyone, to be fair, and they chose me, which makes me proud and which makes me happy. So I'm just trying to give them back what they gave to me, because they trusted in me in saying, hey, you're a cool guy, represent us. And yeah, I'm trying to make them proud, you know. I want them to say, hey, this guy was an amazing transfer, we are proud to have him in our squad. And I don't want to let them down, because as I said, they could have chosen a lot of players, so I have been the one they chose. So I just trying to get up to that. And you said that Germans or English people or French people are always expected to be in the top 3 or top 4. I just think England and France have a lot of good players. I don't need to name them. I guess you can tell by yourself, like Taz, Gorilla, Sean Allen, and Dax in France, Bruce Granick, who was one of the best FIFA players of all time. And yeah, I just don't think that people count you on your region. So if they say, you're German, okay, you have to finish in top 3. I don't think it's like that. I think everyone has to make himself a name, because if I say I'm German, I'm gonna finish top 3 anyway, because my nationality, that wouldn't make sense. I mean, just because of where you're born in, that doesn't make you a better player, because everyone has to get the progress done on himself, if you know what I mean.
No, I'm with you. Especially since this is an individual sport. It's kind of like a tennis or something. If we're going to compare it to real life sports, if you wanted to parallel it, because it's not a team-based tournament. And at least it hasn't got there yet. I'd love to see pro clubs brought into tournaments, and maybe we will at some point. I know people have done 2v2s, but that's always taken a lot less serious. It's always more for fun, and the prizes are they usually represent the same sort of concept or the same sort of point of view, where it's more for fun. It might be $500 you can win, and everybody kind of messes around, plays a 2v2. They throw some drinking into the mix. So we heard that on Timo's contract. It says that he's a cool guy, so that was good information. I didn't realize that Wolfsburg started putting that into contract. Like, this guy is cool, man. We got to re-sign him.
Yeah.
And I introduced a segment in this series that people seem to really enjoy, so I like to keep it rolling. And I call it Pick 3. So you're going to pick one defender, one midfielder, and one attacking player that you like. You can go any player for any price range, and then you also need to do a cheap version, which might be a 10,000 coin or under player. So one defender, one midfielder, one attacker.
Legends included or without legends?
Don't include legends because you're on the PlayStation.
Oh,
so,
that's racist.
Oh, God. I don't think that is racist, but trust me, many of the people I talk to are on the Xbox, so they're going to include legends. So since you're not, you've got the ability to kind of talk. I have a good, I wish I could write down. Actually, I probably can't. Hold on. I'm going to write down the players. I've never introduced this either. I'm going to see if I can guess who I think you're going to choose.
Okay.
I'm only going to write down the cheap players, because I think expensive-wise, it's too easy maybe sometimes to predict who somebody might put into the mixer. But I'm doodling this down right now, guys, so stick with me for a second.
Yeah.
The attacker is going to be a little tricky, because the player that I think you want to mention, I don't know if he falls in the range, so I put down 2 names, because one of them might be a little too expensive. All right, go ahead. Give me your defender, your midfielder, and your attacker. Let's start with the cheap ones and then go with the expensive ones.
Okay, so my cheap center back would be Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen.
Well, I didn't get that right. Something told me you were going to go with Alexandro, as your defender of choice.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Well, he would be good as well.
0 for 1. Who's the midfielder?
The cheap version.
Yep, cheap version.
I guess Nainggolan.
Damn, missed that one too. I was thinking you'd go Ronaldo Sanchez. Nainggolan's kind of like in between
Yeah,
anyways, a
Renato
little bit.
Sanchez could be right as well. They are both amazing.
All right, give me your attacker, which could be wingers or
Hmm.
strikers, whoever you want to throw up there.
I guess I would go with Martial.
All right, 1 for 3. Ha
Really?
Yeah, I put Martial.
Ah,
I'll
yeah,
just see if I
nice.
can. It's not auto.
Yeah, he's in my main squad, so I guess I would have to go with him.
And, well, he might be another one of those. He's not expensive, but you know he's kind of like an in-between price, where he's probably going to be about 20 to 30K. And then I also put Remy as my slash in case you went really cheap. I felt like maybe here.
Nah, I hate Remy.
Yeah, you know, when I started thinking about it more, I was like, all the players you've been using have been like more of the quick, skillful, agile guys, and Remy's not really that. He's more of the physical workhorse. All right, so give me your no price range defender, midfielder, attacker.
Defender would be. It has to be Ramos, Team of the Year, or Jerome Boateng. I can't decide, to be honest. I think I would go with Boateng for my defender. Midfielder has to be Pogba for sure, and striker is Griezmann.
Griezmann over Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Nah, it's not. If you see me playing, I do a lot with my striker. So Griezmann was my main striker for, as I said, over 300 games. So I just got used to him. I know how to get him in the dangerous positions and how to use his left foot. His right foot is like
it's
non-existing.
Dicey.
So
it's dicey. Yeah, it feels like a 2-star for me on his right foot.
Kind of like a 1-star, to be honest. He just misses everything with his right foot. I still remember when I sweated to him, if I can say it like that, on his right foot. The goal was just empty. The goalkeeper was on the ground and he just didn't even hit the ball. So his right foot is really bad, but his left foot is really, really insane. Ronaldo is good, of course, good too, of course, but I don't know. I think Griezmann is just a little bit more clinical, so I would go with him.
I'm going with Ronaldo, but I understand your reasoning. There's something special about Griezmann this year. I don't know if it's the positioning. I don't know if it's just his agility. His left foot is golden. I don't know if there's a better left foot in the game. I think you could compare to Bala, or you could compare Gareth Bale. But see, Gareth Bale doesn't have the finishing touch that Griezmann has, in my opinion. But he has a very powerful shot. Outside the box, I prefer Gareth Bale, actually. But inside the box, Griezmann is very special if you have it on his left foot. But I think the Bala and Griezmann, very debatable.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
And a follow-up question from there, and this is something that I've talked about, I think, in one of my videos previous. This is what I think EA should do, and I want your opinion. I think EA would maximize both their pockets, because then they get money from Sony and Xbox, and they would maximize content production and the amount of players if they had exclusive legends on the Xbox and the PlayStation. Kind of like the Pokemon approach, where you had red and blue. I mean, I don't know about us trading players back and forth, but I think this could be the solution to the big debate about, oh, I don't want to play PlayStation because I've been introduced to Legends and I love them so much. And that's really been what the debate is. The gameplay on the PlayStation, for me, a lot of times is better than the Xbox because you don't have all this built-in button delay, or I haven't felt it as much. And the big thing that keeps me away from playing on the PlayStation is because I don't want to put in the time or the money into two consoles. I still play PlayStation, but at the same time, with FUT Champs, you kind of build that one super squad, and I don't have anything that brings me over there that's exclusive. Unless there was a tournament or something I wanted to do along those lines. What do you think? Is that a solution? You can say no. You're welcome to be like, Mike, nope, screw that. I don't agree.
I think it could be a solution. I mean, Legends on PS4 would change everything. And do you actually know Rocket League?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can play with PlayStation and computer. They can play together in one game. I think if FIFA would make it that Xbox and PS4 would be counted as the same console, they could use the same legends, so like the same transfer market and just everything the same, which I think this would make everything easier, because you wouldn't have to make tournaments on different consoles, because it all counts as one, if you know what I mean. I think this would make everything like perfect.
I
can,
I agree with
yeah.
you. Well, but that means PlayStation and Xbox gonna have to get along. They're gonna have to go out on a couple dates, go to the bar together, kick back, relax, have some business conversations. Because that's the debatable there. I think they could do this. I think the technology is there, no problem. If they wanted to open up the market for everyone, whoo! The other issue too, Xbox might bring up that Sony's always getting hacked. PlayStation gets hacked almost monthly. I feel like I get an email to change my sign-in information every month, and that means somebody's trying to hack into my PlayStation account. Now, why are you trying to hack into my PlayStation account? I don't even have a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, it's so sad, to be honest.
Last question, first thing that comes to mind. Largest moment in your competitive gaming history thus far? Is there a comeback you had? Is it finishing second in ESWC? Talk to me.
It has to be the seconds where I went on the stage with Dax to play the final. So there was just this music, and we went on the stage, and there were those dancing girls behind us dancing to I can't remember the song, but I was just looking at the crowd. There were like 1,500 people, I think, watching us, and this was just the biggest game of my career, so far at least. I'm actually sad that I fucked it up, but I'm still proud to have been there. I mean, it's a big achievement for me, and I think it's a big achievement in general to be there, to be second at ESWC. And yeah, I think this is just the biggest thing for me. My first German championship was quite insane as well. I went there thinking, oh my god, I'm going to lose, because it was a final against my friend Dr. Ahano. He was just the man back in the day in FIFA 15, and I matched up against him in the final. We played it at the Gamescom in Cologne, so we did have quite a lot of viewers offline. So yeah, I was just so nervous, and I still remember when I scored the first goal. It was a header with Gareth Bale. I will never forget that. I became so confident after this goal, because I thought, yeah, my defense is fine, my pressing is fine. Why should we not score more goals like this? And I don't know, I just played the best FIFA I ever played at this day, and I beat him with 6-2 in points, so you get 2 points per win. I won 3 times and he won once in the best of 5, so I don't know, this was just the best day for me and the start of my career, to be honest.
No, I'm happy to hear that. I like FIFA 15 as well. But
Yeah,
guys,
I
I'm
loved
gonna close this up. We've been on for quite a while. Thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna leave links, remember, to Timo's YouTube channel, and obviously his English is spot on, perfect English. You know, well done.
Really, thank you, mate.
I love it, man. And I'm also gonna leave links to his Twitter if you want to stay up to date. You got the regionals coming up. I'm talking ASAP, but I have a lot more content coming for you very soon. You got any wise words for him?
To be honest,
he's gone. He's out of here, man. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.